If it bleeds, it leads. It's a mantra that can describe the types of stories covered by media outlets. Murders, fires, robberies. Those are generally top stories. But not the unfathomable crime of filicide. There are 5 specific motives for filicide, classified as 1, altruistic, 2, acutely psychotic, 3, accidental filicide or fatal maltreatment, 4, unwanted child, and 5, spouse revenge filicide. We're going to take a journey and find out what all of these are about. On the right, you have a piece of shit, aka DeAndre Flanagan. On the left, his now deceased daughter, little ZEVAYA Flanagan. I don't like spoilers myself, but I can't let you not be prepared for what you're about to hear. So I'm going to give you a brief synopsis. And it hurts me to say this. He picked this baby up from daycare, goes to her mom's job at Walmart, demands that her mom gives him her cell phone and the passcode. And even when he gets both of those things, he takes this baby and leaves and gets in a car and goes on a high-speed chase for about 30 miles with the HPD. He also FaceTimes her mother and strangles the baby right in front of her eyes. At this point, that looks like the cause of death. However, she was covered in blood, and they don't know if it was something he did in the car or if it was the fact that she wasn't even in a seatbelt while he drove erratically for 30 miles. Well, I've said enough. Let's get into this.
Good evening to you. We are hearing from the mother of the 2-year-old girl killed at the hands of her own father. Gabby, what did the family have to say?
Well, I can tell you it was really an emotional interview. This family had tears flowing from their faces as they recalled the moments that the suspect, that they say that suspect, which is the child's father, FaceTimed them, even forcing the mother to watch him injure her child and showing the grandfather that child's bloody and beaten body.
Her face was just covered in blood. He hit her with something really hard. And then he called me on FaceTime and he showed me that he choked her on FaceTime as I was on there. And he told me, I said, Trey, that is your daughter. That is your daughter. Stop. That is your daughter. She loves you. I care about her. You care about her. Like, that is your daughter. And he told me, his exact words was, you only love that man, so you did this to her. He just wanted my phone. He's screaming at me, cursing me out, telling me, what's the passcode? Tell me the passcode or she's gonna get it. Like, and I'm telling him the passcode and I'm telling him over and over and over. But at the end of the day, I guess it just wasn't enough.
Kirsten Watson tells Fox 26 she's still numb and in shock. Around 10 o'clock Monday morning, her child's father, identified by police as 25-year-old DeAndre Flanagan, stormed into her job at Walmart in North Harris County. He had their 2-year-old daughter, ZEVAYA Marie, who had just been dropped off at daycare, in his arms, and he began screaming at Watson. After he took off with ZEVAYA in hand, police say Flanagan took deputies on a 30-mile chase. The car eventually came to a stop on Stubner Airline Drive near Veterans Memorial, where officers took Flanagan into custody uninjured. But little ZEVAYA required CPR until life flight arrived. She died at the hospital.
She was just such a happy baby, and I just know she's at peace.
Watson says in the week leading up to this incident, she had to contact police on 3 different occasions about Flanagan, but she was told there was nothing they could do.
The first day he took my child, like I was giving her a bath in the tub. He stormed in and he took her like out the tub. She wasn't even dressed, and he just took her out the house and drove away in a car. We've been going our separate ways, and I let him be, but he couldn't let me be. He couldn't let me be happy. He couldn't let me move on with my life.
Keith, the prosecutor tells me if a medical examiner's office determines that the 2-year-old little girl died due to strangulation, they then will raise the suspect's charge to capital murder.
Ed Gonzalez, Harris County Sheriff, joined here by Chief Harden with the Houston Police Department. What we know is that approximately 10:15 a.m., an adult male went to a private daycare facility, removed his 2-year-old daughter. It's our understanding that he's a biological father. We haven't confirmed that. That's the initial information we received. From there, he proceeded to go to a retail store pretty close by, where he confronted the mother of the child and began making threats, asking for her phone, her passcode, with child in hand, and basically threatening to hurt the child if she did not turn those items over. She complied. She made an attempt to try to rescue her daughter from his stronghold, but she wasn't able to do so. At that point, we're told that the adult male struck her possibly a couple times to the face, and continued to flee the location from that retail store, again still with child in tow, and fleeing the location with her phone and his phone as well. Our deputies were dispatched to that location. At that point, they quickly began getting information, trying to obviously now determine what happened. Now the situation has escalated, knowing that there's a child involved and possibly could be in harm's way. They were able to immediately, or pretty close to immediately start tracking where the phone might be, near the intersection of Greens Road and North Freeway, approximately in the Greens Point area. A pursuit occurred at that point. From that location. It's several miles from here, several minutes from this location, so a pursuit did occur. It's my understanding it took place both along the North Freeway and then here along Studemer Airline as well, as units were again trying to devise a strategy to detain the suspect that was in the vehicle with the child. The male wasn't having it, so he continued northbound here on Studemer Airline past 1960. At some point, as patrol vehicles were now in the area, he was able to swerve, jumped into St. Dunstan's Episcopal Church, and the car finally came to a stop. We're very grateful again that law enforcement was able to send pretty quickly. HPD SWAT was in the area, their air support was also in the area, and then our units began arriving as well. By that point, there was a standoff. The male was in the vehicle. We later learned the child was still in the vehicle as well. One of our negotiators was able to establish verbal communication just briefly from near the vehicle, trying to ascertain the condition, especially of the child. And at that point, during the course of that investigation, they determined that the child was possibly in pretty bad shape. The adult male was taken into custody without injury or without incident, and the child was removed, and immediately EMS began providing life-saving measures. At that point, the child was in very serious critical condition, so CPR was administered almost the entire time until Life Flight arrived and has since taken the toddler, who we're told is 2 years old, 2-year-old black female. We'll be out here for several hours, as again there were a lot of moving pieces to this, involving a pursuit and the initial calls for service, and then ultimately when things came to an end. So that'll be part of our investigation. And I just want to reference again that our negotiator was able to establish, once they were there and when they were establishing communications with him, to try to resolve this as peacefully as possible, that the child was injured in somehow, according to the suspect who conveyed that to them, and wasn't being responsive at that point. And so that's when we had to take further action at that point. Any questions?
How did the child come to be injured?
The initial information that we received again from the suspect was apparently that the child had, I'm paraphrasing here, had jumped around the car, during everything that had transpired, possibly struck her head and had bounced around. So I'm assuming probably didn't have a seatbelt or anything, and basically said she wasn't being responsive. But again, all those were reckless decisions by the suspect in putting that precious child in a dangerous situation like that and taking her from the daycare center. He's the one that prompted everything that happened here today.
Unfortunately, that toddler died at the hospital.
Justice for ZEVAYA Flanagan. And I pray that DeAndre never sees the light of day. Filicide is a real thing, and it's on the rise. Next episode, unfortunately, coming soon. I'll see you in the comments, beautiful people.